Does she have two heads now?
I could not decide what lesson to teach today. And so I went to my books and opened one. I said, oh no, not that one. And then I went to another and I flipped through. I said, no, 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 no. We've all done these lessons. So I went to another book and opened that one, and I opened it to the same lesson. So I thought, this is a sign.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, not that one.
This is
Oh, no, not that one. Whatever.
so many of you may be familiar with this lesson, and I thought we would approach it very gently, very gradually, because it is an intense lesson. Oh gosh, I just front loaded it. I'm sorry. And let's start by standing up.
Okay.
Let's start by standing up so we can do the taste test. And just feel yourself in your space. Feel your space of your body in the space of your room. And feel how your standing is this morning. And then how long do your arms feel as you stand there? And you can sort of stroke, go ahead and stroke downwards along the outside of one thigh and just feel how easy is that. And then go down the other thigh and feel how easy is that. And which side is easier to reach along? And is the constraint in the opposite ribs, or is it in your hips, or is it in your neck? So maybe one side feels easier. And then go ahead and raise one arm up and then stroke down your leg with the other arm and feel the length of that side. Of course, no forcing, no coercing. And then the other arm up and stroke down the thigh. And feel which side of your rib cage is more willing to open up this morning. And then come and lie on your backs. And we'll work a little one side, and then we'll come up to standing. And check it, and then we'll go back down and work the other side. And I think that this lesson is worthy of many passes, many passes. So notice how you are fitting on the floor. And notice your breathing. And notice how your ribs move on the sides that you were just sensing in standing. Can you imagine the ribs moving away from each other as you breathe in? And opening up that casing of your rib cage. Shaped as it is like an egg, narrow at the top and wider at the bottom, or wider and then narrower at the bottom. And check in with your head, how your head fits on the floor, where it rests on the floor. And check in with your neck by rolling your head. And see which side is more comfortable, more easy this morning. And then can you stand up your left leg And just begin to lean on the leg, lean your weight on the leg so that your pelvis begins to roll to the right. So your left foot is standing on the floor. And then you push or lean. It's different if you think of leaning your weight on the leg or pushing the foot into the floor. You can play with that distinction. And feel what lengthens, what is asked to open up as you roll the pelvis to the right, as you roll the pelvis to the right. And I'm going to add a constraint. Can you keep the knee facing the ceiling? Keep the knee facing the ceiling. So the pelvis is going to turn away from that left leg. Pelvis turns away. That's quite different, yes. And then pause, bring your pelvis to the floor. Keep well, you can bring your leg down if you like, but bring your right arm long on the floor. Bring your right arm long on the floor and catch hold of your wrist with your left hand and make a fist, a soft fist with your right hand, and begin to pull your arm upwards. Pull your right arm upwards as though you wanted to bring the fist right over the top of the head and taller. And do that many, many times as you exhale. So the arms, the back of the right hand stays on the floor, but it might not stay on the floor, so that's fine too. You can just do what you can do. If you need to place something underneath your arm so that it can rest, a pillow, so that you have the feeling of a floor, just gently lengthen that arm and think about what your shoulder blade is doing. So you're lengthening the arm up over the head. Exhaling. And then let it return to its length or shortness, resting state. And then slowly bring your arms down, slowly bring your arms down. And take a short rest. Stand up that same leg again, your left leg, and bring your right arm long on the floor overhead. Catch hold of your wrist. And again, begin to lengthen the arm. Lengthen the arm, but as you do so, press with the left foot into the floor so that your body weight starts to gradually come up onto your right side. And gradually, so many, many, many passes. So as you lengthen the arm, you start to press with the foot and the pelvis starts to turn to the right and the left knee stays up towards the ceiling. And your body weight starts to come onto your right side as you lengthen the arm. And if you need to lift your head, then do so. Lift your head. And soften. Where can you soften? Where can you soften? How can you make the movement simpler? Let your body weight open up the ribs. Let your body weight bring your head, the weight of your head, over so that it can rest. The head can rest on your right arm. And just negotiate. It's like peace talks with your nervous system. Negotiate how you're going to come up and over and onto that right arm without tensing up, without resisting. Just a very gentle reminder that you're lengthening by gently, gently, gently pulling through the left arm, reminding the right side to lengthen. And maybe you don't come all the way onto the right side. That's fine. Maybe for you, it's just a very little rolling. Maybe for you, it's just a very little rolling. If you force it, it won't be a good thing. It won't be a good result. So let's take a rest. As you're resting, sense your two sides. Interlace your fingers and bring both your hands behind your head. And again, stand your left foot. And now carry your head over to the left. Carry your head over to the left as you slide the backs of the hands along the floor and press with your left foot into the floor so that you're side bending, but you're not just side bending, you're starting to spiral to the right. And your ribs on the right are opening up, just as they were a moment ago with your body weight rolling onto them. But now we're sending a different message through the system. So fold yourself like a fish over to the side and let the pelvis turn. And just feel where you open. Feel where you open. So it's not rolling onto the side now. It's carrying the head over to the left as you press with the left foot. And your left elbow comes closer to your ribs on the left side. And your right elbow goes up in space along to point at some different place in the room. And you're just carrying the head. There's no strain, there's no work in the neck, not a lot. And then see, just there, if you can just slip your hands out from behind your head and take hold of your right wrist. And then pull that arm very, very, very gently a little bit closer towards your right ear. A little bit closer towards your right ear. And the head can move over, and the foot might push. And you're very, very, very gently encouraging the upper arm to come just a little bit closer. Maybe it's just a millimeter. maybe it's just a millimeter closer to your right temple. So how are you going to breathe? Where could you give yourself a little more elasticity? And slowly, slowly bring your arms down and take a rest. And by all means, take a rest far before I suggest it. And now come on to the stomach. Come onto your stomach. And you can have your head down, your forehead down, and have both your arms long on the floor overhead with the palms down. And spread the legs a comfortable distance, and then just lift your right leg from the floor. Just lift your right leg from the floor a little bit and listen for, here's what we're going to listen for. The right leg lifting is helping your right armpit come closer to the floor. Your right leg lifting, and something you do with your body weight is going to help your right armpit come a little closer to the floor, and it's going to press your right hand away from you. It's like going to creep along the floor a little bit. So that it might not even be a large lifting, but just engaging that leg in a certain way that you could extend your reach through your right side, through the right fingertips, and feel the right armpit coming closer to the floor. And add some intention. You may be doing this already. Add some intention to lengthen the right arm away from you as you lift the right leg. And soften through that right side. Which way do you want to turn your head? Does your head want to turn? If it wants to turn, turn it. Let it roll. It's your body weight. It's your body weight that's opening up the joints. Not your willpower. That will never work. Now, with your arms long, can you roll onto your back by rolling through your right side? Don't worry about coming off your mat. You can adjust later. But keeping your right arm long and finding out, negotiate how you can switch off all the parts that are resisting as though it's someone else's arm, and you can just roll up and over your right side and come onto your back slowly through that long right arm. And then you can bring yourself back onto your mat and adjust yourself, but sense the right side, sense the right arm. Bring your hands interlaced behind your head again. Stand your left leg again. Stand your left foot. And again, slide your head over towards the left side of your rib cage and let your body roll towards the right as you fold your ribs to the left. Fold your rib cage to the left, open the ribs on the right. And bring your left elbow closer to your ribs. So you're just turning the pelvis and sliding the head. You're turning the pelvis to the right and sliding the head over to the left. So it's a side bend and a roll, so it's a spiral. And the next time you are in that place, can you catch hold of your right wrist with your left hand and just very, very gently encourage your arm a little bit closer to your head. Encourage your right arm a little bit closer to your head. And take a rest. Take a rest. Now bring yourself up to standing. Roll to your side and bring yourself up to standing. And let's see if anything changed on your right side. So the first thing we did was we folded sideways. Yes, we folded sideways. One arm stroking down the side of one leg. And see, is it easier to fold yourself to the left than it is to the right? Is there a little more length along the right side? Yes, and if you raised up your left arm or your right arm and stroke the long arm down along the leg again. Did the right side open up? Did the left side open up? Which side opened up more? Or is there a difference? Is there a difference? And move about a bit and feel the difference between the two sides. Now, I'll let you vote by thumbs up or thumbs down because you're all muted. But come back onto your mats. Now, we can continue with this side or we can catch the other side up. So everyone who wants to do the other side, thumbs up. Okay, that looks like a majority. What did I just say? The other side? Okay. All right, let's catch the other side up. So I'm guessing that you all feel the difference. Okay, we'll unmute later and we'll talk about it. Woohoo! Jeannie, go. Oh, woohoo! Wow, look at that. Everybody take a look at Jeannie. Let's have a look at this. Right side. Oh, the left side got it. The left side changed. Aha. Okay, forget it. Don't look at Jeannie anymore. She tricked us. Okay, so lie back down. Lie back down. We'll all get together after. And sense your two sides. Sense your breathing. And slow your breathing down. Slow your breathing down, because when you slow the breathing down, it slows down the brain waves. And then things start to open. They're more open to new information. And stand up your right leg. And continuing to breathe nice and easy and slow and comfortably, just several times. Begin to press your right foot into the floor so that you start to turn, the left leg starts to turn, and the toes start to point towards the left side of the room, and you can take many, many, many passes, many breaths. Feel leaving the knee up towards the ceiling. Feel the pelvis turning. Feel the first place that you start to feel opening along the left side. Is it at the waist? Then the more and the more weight you start to bring into the left side of the rib cage. And just a little bit, a little bit. Let your body weight open up the intercostals from inside. Let your breath open up the rib cage from inside. And let the head roll in the direction of the right. That will encourage the spiral a little more. And then the next time that your pelvis is down, flat on the floor, can you catch hold of your left wrist overhead on the floor and begin to lengthen the arm up by just gently, gently pulling on the on the left wrist, as though to pull the fist directly over the top of your head. And try breathing out as you do that. So breathing in will open the ribs, but if you breathe out, you might find you can access the sensation of your shoulder blade a little bit better. And the shoulder blade starts to slide upwards along the ribs towards the back of the neck. And at no moment is there a feeling of danger or forcing. You're just listening. You're just listening. And then you can very, very gently, you can make this very small on this side. Begin to push a little bit through the right foot, or lean your weight into the right foot and leg as you suggest this idea of lengthening the arm a little bit more overhead. can inhale, you can exhale, but feel the difference, how different it is to breathe in a different pattern. I think everyone should take a rest if you're not already. And interlace your fingers and bring your hands behind your head. Did you interlace them habitually or non-habitually? You can change that if you like, and stand up your right foot. And again, carry your head, let's see now, carry your head to the right, carry your head to the right. Start to fold your ribs to the right. And feel when would you push? When would you push? When would that folding of your ribs to the right give a cue to the left foot? Give a cue into the pelvis and hip joint. And because the foot is standing, because the lower leg is vertical, then there is a support around which the pelvis can turn itself. Can you feel that? So there's a folding and a folding, and then the folding starts to become a turning. And the lower leg stays vertical. So one of the end supports of a bridge. And allow your face to turn and look in the direction of your left elbow. Allow your face to turn and look in the direction of your left elbow. Just in the direction of, yes, and what does that change? If you take the eyes to look up. Follow that elbow as it's moving away from you, as it's moving away from the right foot, you follow the movement with your eyes. Could you organize the movement, or rather the movement will organize itself if you start it with the eyes? You're in a position and the eyes turn to look, to see something in the corner of the room up there beyond your elbow. The body will organize itself. It's a wonderful thing. And then all you have to do is do that again. Look with your eyes, have the intention to see something, be mindful of your physical self, be true to yourself that you're not hurting, you're not going to hurt yourself. But if the eyes will organize everything that needs to happen. And then all you have to do is do it again and pay attention to what's happening. The eyes will organize the movement every time. And let's take a rest if you're not already. Again, stand your right foot. Again, lengthen your left arm long overhead and take hold of the wrist. You can make a gentle fist and just begin to lengthen the arm upwards and let go of the left side of the ribs. Let go of the neck. And begin to push a little bit, press a little bit, lean a little bit into the left foot and feel how that goes now. And then gradually, you can take as long as you need, as many times as you need to come a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more onto the left side. Until maybe you come to rest all the way on your left side with your body weight opening up everything along the left side, your head resting on your left arm. Or maybe you don't get there today. Maybe you don't get there today. Maybe you just get a little bit further, but it gets more and more comfortable each time. How can you make it simpler and more comfortable each time? And if you are all the way on the left side, then how could you lengthen even more? So some of you are on your left side and some of you are still just working on maybe rolling 2.5 millimeters over to the left. I'm going to talk to the people that are all the way onto the left side. If you're all the way onto the left side, stand your back leg a little closer to you and place your head in front of the arm that's on the floor. Now you'll be a bit longer. And regardless of where you are, everybody come onto your backs and take a rest. Roll your head. Stand your right leg. Bring your left arm long on the floor overhead. And just encourage the arm, grab the wrist with your right hand and just lengthen the arm gently, gently. Many, many times as you exhale. Do the lengthening on the exhalation. And now can you come onto your stomach? Come onto your stomach with your arms long overhead, palms on the floor. And think of lengthening your left arm as you lift your left leg. Lift your left leg. And find out how that, and maybe it's, you don't even lift the leg, it's getting ready to lift the leg, preparing to lift the leg. You're at the point of lifting the leg. What's happening in the left armpit? And can you use that left leg starting to get a little lighter away from the floor? That means that the body weight could roll a little bit towards the left, and the body weight could flatten out the armpit just a little bit. Maybe the head needs to turn. Maybe the head needs to be turned one direction or the other. How could you direct the weight of your body up from the right leg through the left side, the left leg, up through the left side so the left armpit comes closer to the floor? But gravity and your body weight do all the work. And you are negotiating. So that the moment there might be a reaction, go back and regroup and start over. So that your skeletal system starts to take over and the muscular system is letting go. Now, what if you lifted the opposite leg? What if you alternated lifting one leg and then the other? How would that, which armpit could you best flatten a little more towards the floor? So the body starts to sort of rock through the body to the armpit. And the head is resting on the floor, the neck is comfortable, you're breathing. The movements can be tiny, tiny. And the change will be huge. Could you from here roll through one long side, slowly, slowly onto your back? Which side will you choose? How could you roll onto your back from this position? Over a long arm. Yay! Excellent. Bring your arms slowly, 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 ever so slowly down. And rest. And roll your head and check in. And roll to your side and bring yourself up to standing. And then slide one arm down the side of your leg and feel the ribs on the opposite side opening, and go to the other side. And you can try bringing one arm, the opposite arm, up towards the ceiling as the arm slides down the leg. Is that a little easier? Did you get a little longer? Walk about, and if you'd like to stay afterwards and ask questions or anything, I'm here. If you have to go, then we'll see you next week.